So, hey guys, it's me again. And so what I decided to do is do some field work and field testing on the tent again. And decided to come back here to beautiful Big Lagoon State Park, where we saw our up-armored possum friend, and camp out here. And this time I have a surprise. Look who came with me this time. Look, it's a Willy Billy. It's a Willy Billy. So Willy came to camp out this time, and she's got her little camping mat and stuff, and she's got her own little personalized corgi bed next to mine in the tent. So what happened with this tent exactly? Well, funny you ask. Let me share this little this is tough. I'll be honest. I had such grandiose hopes for my Fortius 2-person tent, and all in all, it's a good tent. I think it's more user error than it is tent error. And but what I found is that on my hike, the sides would collapse, and I think the sides collapsed because the those little tensioners would slip anytime, like the cord got wet or anything like that. They would just slip, and you'd wake up and you'd have tent in your face, and of course it's wet and it's cold, and because we have all this humidity and the temperature's changing so much, and so everything would get wet inside, anything that touched, which was everything after the sides come down on top of you. So, and that could be me. Maybe I just didn't tighten them right. Maybe, I just didn't have the tent properly set up. So I'm going to keep playing with that. And I know I got something wonky going on with the tent now, but it's so in its place that I'm going to leave it. But so what did I do to fix this? Well, I did two things. I tackled this problem twofold. And I think what I'm going to do is enjoy more of my coffee, because nothing's better than camp coffee at your picnic table while you're discussing tent problems. So let's get you set up here and let's talk about this. So cheers, everybody. So what I took on this problem twofold. The first thing I did is I camp dried the sides. I mean, I figured, what could that hurt, right? The second thing I did is that I got new tensioners to go on those two side pieces that come out. All right, guys, so here we are at the campsite, and I thought while we were here to do a good review on the Outdoor Vitals Fortius 2. Now, I'm not an expert in setting these things up. I'll be honest with you. I'm still learning. But one thing I did notice is that as soon as the material got wet, these sides would sag. And there are, on these sides, the sides would sag inside the tent, and then as soon as you hit it, you're wet because it was wet. And that's how on the trail all of my stuff got wet at that Bayside campsite. And I think one of the things is, one, me learning how to set up a tent, which I still obviously have to work on here, and two are these they are like the cinchers, and they supposedly lock the line in place, so you can cinch this down and get it tight, to hold the tent away from you. And what kept happening is when the line got wet, they would pull and loosen up, and as time went on, the whole tent would sag in, and then it'd be in your face. Like literally, you wake up and you got tent in your face and you were soaking wet. So what I've done is I have invested in these little jobbers, and which is just a basic line cinching tensioner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ones off of here and I'm going to replace them with these, and then I'll show you how that works as soon as I get that done. All right, see you in a minute. Now I'm using new tensioners where all you do is flip up the tab and you can adjust the lines, and they hold until you pretty much move them. I mean, they're pretty stiff. So I think even if that line gets wet, it's still going to hold good tension on those. Now, the other tensioners that come on the rest of the tent are great. No issues. I don't know why they use different ones for those two parts. I don't understand. Maybe I'll have to send Tayson a message or something and ask him why did they choose to go with those type of tensioners. And because it makes me crazy. So back to coffee time. So now you guys know the struggle. It really did make a huge difference in how I slept, because I would wake up in the middle of the night, I'd turn over, and poof, now all of a sudden I got water all over my face from the tent. And then after that point, because I touched it, it would just drip, and it would drip cold freaking water on my face in the middle of the night. And I can tell you that's not any fun. So I'm hoping that we can solve some of this by having those better tensioners and with the Camp Dry. Now I'll throw it up on the screen now, but I'm looking at this Starbright stuff, and that Starbright stuff is basically a lot of the sailing channels that I watch, that me and Mike watch. They use Starbright it's a brand name, and it's basically like Camp Dry. It's same idea, but it's more industrial, I guess. And you can even paint this stuff on. It doesn't always have to be sprayed. Like Camp Dry that I use is aerosol. It stinks. Yeah. But this stuff can be just painted on with a brush, or whatever. And they use it on biminis, on sailboats, which keeps them waterproof. So that might be my long-term solution. I got the Camp Dry. I already had some. You guys saw I had some left over from the other tent. So I decided to throw that on there, just so I wouldn't be waiting around on this other stuff to come in and not be able to go camping. Because again, tonight, you know me, I have to go and camp in the worst freaking weather ever. Thunderstorms forecasted for tonight. So we'll see how the Camp Dry performs. We'll see how these new tensioners perform. That's my only complaint with this tent, is the material, when it gets wet, sags, and then the tensioner's not holding tension when the lines get wet, sag. So that's the problem, and let's hope that these two things at least curb that a little bit, make it a little more tolerable. So we'll check back in with you as the night goes on. We're about to yeah, it's about dinner time, just about. So we'll check in with you guys later, and I hope you're having a wonderful day, and always get out there and get muddy. right, guys. So it is already getting dark. This time change thing is really messing with my head. It's only 5:30, but we are all set up at our camp, and the Willy Billy's back here somewhere. Yeah, she's over there. She's playing with dogs. So, yep, she's been finding puppy friends. And so just having a little fire here, and maybe later we're going to go back out to that pond area, see if we can spot any alligators. That might be fun. And she's been spotting up-armored possums since we got here. There are plenty of those around. And just another wonderful night. Nice clear skies so far. So I don't know when the clouds are supposed to start moving in, but I'm glad it's not right now. So I'll take it while I can get it. No, Willie, come on. So we are just hanging out. Man, that was an awesome shot. Yay, go Willie. Gotta teach her on her photogenic skills. But yep, that's the current situation. Got everything all set up. Good to go. All right, see you guys back in a little bit.